Hey guys, it's your boy D Valo back with some more boxing. Just found out some interesting news. Errol Spence Jr. has been training with Jamel Charlo in the lead up for the Kell fight. Jamel Charlo says that Errol Spence is planning to target the body from round one. Errol Spence's game plan is to target the body from round one. Now, if you didn't know, Jamel Charlo just done a recent video about him. Go check it out. He is in the junior middleweight division, which is super welterweight, which is one weight class above welterweight. So he's fighting, Errol Spence is out there fighting a bigger guy, training for Kell, who is 1 inch shorter than him. Because Errol Spence is 5'9.5" and Kell is 5'9". So tough opponent as well. He's Jamel Charlo, 28-0, so and he's quite a technical fighter versus the power puncher. So that is similar to Brook, because Brook is actually quite fast and got skill, but he's also a power puncher too. So yeah, him fighting a bigger guy is good training for Kell. But what is interesting about it is him saying he's going to target the body. So if he targets the body, what can Kell do to counteract that? Well, if someone's coming in throwing body shots, then they're open to the uppercut. And we know that Kell likes to throw the uppercut because he was using it in that short night against Golovkin. So if he throws the uppercut, then Errol Spence may be getting hit. But I must say that targeting the body is a very good game plan, because he did the same thing to Chris Algieri. And the thing with Chris Algieri is if you headhunt him, he will make you miss and make you pay. But what he didn't realize is that Errol Spence was digging him to the body from round one and he was accumulating a lot of damage. And by round 5, his hands dropped and Errol Spence finished him off. So the key here is that you invest in the body and it will pay off in the later rounds. But if you invest very well in the body, it could be a shorter night than you think. So his game plan seems to be quite good. So him sparring with Jamel Charlo seems to be a good tactic for him in the lead up for his fight. Another thing which is interesting about just that the sparring partner is Jamel Charlo has said that this guy is a problem in boxing, and he's the biggest problem in boxing. And he's basically bigging him up and saying that he's got to be serious. This guy's fighting Kell has got to be serious about him, because he's not phased by fighting Kell in his hometown. He's not phased at all. And which leads me on to the next thing about the press conference and what happened there. I've done an earlier video about it, and in the press conference it was quite funny. It was quiet at the start and traders started having a go at each other. But there's 3 main points that I like to bring up. Firstly is size. The Kell trainer was talking about Kell and saying he is a massive welterweight, and we know he's a massive welterweight because we've seen him go up to middleweight and we've seen him fighting at welter. So we know he's big for his size, and we know he has power in it. But on the other side, Errol Spence seemed unfazed throughout that whole conference. Errol Spence was unfazed by any retaliation or any trash talk which Kell or Kell trainer gave to him. So he basically said to that statement that, well, I'm alright, I walk around in 170s. He walks around in 170s, which is junior middleweight. And he's sparring Jamel Charlo, who is a middleweight, junior middleweight. So which made me start thinking, if he is walking around in the 170s normally, and Jamel Charlo was saying that this guy trains 8 to 10, like he's been training 3 months before this fight, 8 to 10 rounds, made him want to step up his own game, and he's 28-0 WBC super welterweight champion, then wow, he's described this guy as crazy. He's used the adjective crazy to describe Errol Spence. So I'm thinking, yeah, of course he's training three months before the fight, because this guy is massive. He needs to cut weight to get down to welterweight for him to fight. So Jamel Charlo was even saying that Errol Spence could be fighting in junior middleweight because he looks like a junior middleweight. When you look at his head compared to his frame, if you just saw a picture of his head, you would expect him to have a massive frame. He's got big wide shoulders, but the rest of him, it makes sense why he's cutting, because you'd expect a much bigger and a musclier guy, but he seems to be more lean and ripped because that's how he gets when he goes back, when he cuts weight to welter. So he's doing very well when he's cutting weight. He's remaining all the muscle that he needs, but keeping that middleweight power because he's been knocking out all these guys. So we know that he's got power. So anyway, yeah, that's the first thing that was interesting about that press conference. The second thing was quite funny when Kell Brooks says, "I'm gonna hit you with one of these chocolate brownies." We've got a Sheffield accent, so it wasn't like that. But anyway, he says, "I'm gonna hit you with one of these chocolate brownies," and then Errol Spencer's like, "Chocolate brownies? What's that? That's lame." He says that is lame. He described the chocolate brownie as lame, but there's only one way to find out what a chocolate brownie is. It's his fist, basically. What it is and what it can do is when we see that fight on May 27th, it is boiling up to be a very good one, and this guy is the biggest problem in boxing, the biggest prospect coming up, and let's see if he can take it. He's completely and utterly unfazed by fighting Kell Brook in front of 30,000 fans in Sheffield, in Bramall Lane, in the stadium, in the UK, miles and miles away from his hometown. He doesn't care about any of that. He's coming in there to do a job and work the body on Kell Brook. So let's see what happens. So yeah, the two game plans meshing together. I don't know who's Kell Brook is sparring and how's he getting ready for this fight, but Errol Spence is doing bits, and it looks like he's very, very, very ready for this fight. So we'll see what happens on the day. If you're watching this, thank you for tuning in. Just exploring the weight of these two guys and the game plan of Errol Spence to target the body. Will Errol Spence be doing some heavy damage to the body all night or for however long it lasts, or will Kell Brook be hitting him with uppercuts and Errol Spence be eating uppercuts all night until he gets knocked out? Let's just see what happens. Anyway, it's your boy D-Valo. Thank you for watching. If you watch this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. It's your boy D-Valo, and I'm out.